This is the South Pacific Adventist News. Hello, I'm David Gibbons. A Year 6 student in Bendigo, Victoria has raised a whopping $10,341 all by herself this week for research into a cure for multiple sclerosis. Rachel Welling raised more money than anyone else in Australia. She loves reading, so she looked for sponsors while she read the books. Rachel received help from many organisations, including the Richmond Football Club and the Australian Socceroos.
It just sort of feels good to know you're helping for a good cause.
She also enjoys attending her local Adventist church and has a deep passion for the environment and for children less fortunate than herself. Ex-drug addicts joined hundreds of Adventist youth to march for a drug-free lifestyle in Sydney last weekend. Organisers were pleased with the record turnout of 10 to 15-year-olds. Youth signed a petition asking the government to double the recommended tax increase on tobacco and alcohol. Adventist Youth Ministries, who have organised the drug-free walk for the last 10 years, chose to walk across the Harbour Bridge this year to commemorate its 75th anniversary. The Australian federal government will pay for an additional 20 teacher trainees at the Adventist-owned Avondale College. This is in addition to the 468 HEX places at Avondale, more than at any other Christian college. The new allocation was announced by Education, Science and Training Minister Julie Bishop this week. The government recognises Avondale as one of the best providers of Christian higher education. 15 people have already made a commitment to become Christians in Cairns last weekend. The decisions come at the end of a 4-week evangelistic series run by Pastor Gary Webster. He was amazed that over 400 people attended the meetings. More than 3/4 of them were not Adventists. Most of the meetings were held in the Pacific International Hotel in Cairns, but on the last 3 Saturdays they were held in the Cairns Seventh-day Adventist Church. Scores plan to continue attending church each Saturday, including a group of Aborigines who want to study the Book of Revelation together.
The Spirit of God was powerfully at work. We had about 330 non-members come to the first program, and most of the campaign there was around about 100 non-members attending throughout.
Gary Webster uses the evangelistic campaigns to train pastors and church members. Similar campaigns will be held in the Solomons, Sydney, Darwin, Newcastle and Papua New Guinea in 2008. The Samoan Prime Minister recently opened a conference for Samoan Adventist pastors from across the world. More than 70 Samoan pastors attended from the United States, Guam, Papua New Guinea, Fiji, New Zealand and Australia. The Prime Minister congratulated church leaders for initiating the conference. He challenged them to make the content and delivery of the gospel relevant in this technological age. The conference set up a committee to prepare up-to-date and relevant evangelistic resources for both pastors and church members. The staff from a Myer department store in New South Wales have donated more than $4,000 to ADRA. They wanted to help the Adventist Aid Agency to provide care packages to neglected, abused and traumatised children in their local Blacktown community.
Our staff at Myer Blacktown have been committed to the cause that ADRA are leading in the local community at Blacktown.
Myer Blacktown selected the ADRA Community Centre as their charity of choice last year, and they chose the ADRA Trauma Project as their charity of choice again this year. And finally, in this week's edition of The Record, a new ADRA shop opens in Currumbin, Queensland. Youth teams from all over Australia visit small rural towns to run kids clubs and to work on service projects. The thriving Adventist Church in Berry, South Australia, have been supporting the Riverland community for over 80 years. And the Record editor reveals why it is good to shut the gate. Thank you for watching Adventist News. See you next week. I'm David Gibbons.